welcome you to this broadcast of boys varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We are at Russia Local Schools where the Marion Local Flyers will take on the Russia Raiders. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. Good evening, everyone. My name is Craig Fissinger with my broadcast partner tonight, Tanya Hammonds. It's senior night here in Russia for this final game of the regular season. If you're a Raiders fan, Tanya, 4 Russia seniors will start this ball game tonight and play in the Claire Cedavo Gymnasium for the final time in their high school careers, and that's always emotional for the players and their fans.
It absolutely is, Craig. These seniors have put their heart and soul into Raider basketball, and to come on here one last time, put that white, blue, and gold Russia High School uniform on, just brings a little tear to your eye, and it's kind of a special moment for the parents, the players, and the students as well.
About 30 minutes ago, during the third quarter of the junior varsity game, Russia varsity coach Spencer Cordonier invited the fathers of all 4 Russia seniors into the locker room with the team. It's a tradition that's been going on here in Russia for at least the last 7 years, and those 4 fathers tonight individually spoke to all the players. I'm proud to say, Tanya, I was one of those dads, and it's something I'll never forget.
That is outstanding. I wish as a parent I would have had the opportunity to do that with my daughters. Unfortunately we don't, but that had to be a special moment for not only you, Craig, but for your son and the rest of the senior boys.
Well, tonight in this varsity contest, it's a battle between a couple of state-ranked teams as number 4 Russia comes in with a record of 19-2. Marion Local is 16-4. Tanya, you and I were just in these seats about 22 hours ago calling last night's final SCAL game of the season. Russia survived a hard-fought battle against the Fort Army Redskins and won their first SCAL title since 2018. The game between the Raiders and Redskins wasn't the most exciting at times, but it came down to the final play of the game. What were your thoughts on what you saw from Russia?
Last night, I believe that the intensity level, we saw bits and pieces of it. I spoke to Coach Cordonier afterwards when I congratulated him on a league championship, and just discussed what's going on. And he said, we couldn't get anything to work. It just wasn't flowing last night. So, a couple tweaks this morning at a shoot-around. Hopefully the intensity level gets picked up, but still having your 18th SCAL championship is something to be super proud of.
Well, this Russia versus Marion Local regular season finale has been a tradition for as long as I can remember. Tanya, both these schools and these communities, I think they'd agree, this is a great matchup to get you ready for tournament.
This is a great way to end your regular season. Both state-ranked teams, both play their hearts out. This game really means nothing to anybody except what can the regional tournament look like. But who knows at this point, they're going to go out there. It's going to be a carefree, fun game for both squads.
All right, and if you're wondering about how this matchup last year between Russia and Marion Local turned out, it was the Flyers topping the Raider by the final of 58-44. As a matter of fact, this matchup here, Marion Local has won 10 of the last 11 matchups between these two schools. Russia winning most recently back in 2016 when that game went to overtime, and the Raiders won by the final of 60-57. We're going to take a short break for tonight's national anthem. We'll be back in a moment with your starting lineups and your keys of the game. You're listening to High School Boys Basketball here on NKTelco Sports.
I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
And now it's time for our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game. If you're the Marion Local Flyers tonight, your keys to the game will be putting up points against this stingy Russia defense. Raiders are only allowing 37 points per game on defense this season, and they haven't allowed more than 38 points per game in their last 3 contests. The Flyers will likely try to use their size to beat this Russia defense. And the keys to the game of the Russia Raiders is dealing with that Marion Local size. Interesting to note that normal starter Jack Kanapke, a 6'9 sophomore, is out tonight, injured his collarbone last night, but Marion Local still has that size, and these Raiders just have to hope some of those block shots that they're going to get down in the paint are going to maybe turn into some contact, and Russia can cash in at the free throw line. So those are our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game. Now it's time for the Emerson Copeland starting lineups. And for the Marion Local Flyers, they will start with number 4, a 6-foot senior, Luke Pullman. Number 11, a 6'2 senior, Jaden Mesher. Number 12, a 6'2 senior, Tate Hess. Number 15, a 6'1 senior, Brandon Ike, number 15 that is. And number 23, a 6'8 sophomore, Austin Niekamp. For the Russia Raiders, they will start with number 12, a 6'1 junior, Hayden Quinter. Number 2, a 5'10 senior, Zane Chappie. Number 34, a 6-foot senior, Xavier Flippo. And starting for the first time in their high school careers will be 2 more Russia seniors. Number 4, 5'11 senior, Ross Fissinger. And number 50, a 6'3 senior, Colby Monin. Again, it's senior night here at Russia. And a lot of blue and gold in here tonight, that's for sure. The Marion Local Flyers in their road blue with gold numbers and letters. Russia in their home whites with gold numbers as well. Getting set to jump at center circle for the Marion Local Flyers will be their sophomore, 6'8", Austin Niekamp. Rest of the players on the floor for the Flyers, all seniors, and Luke Pullman, Jaden Mesher, Tate Hess, and Brandon Ike. For Russia, they have 4 seniors on the floor as well. Zane Chappie, Xavier Flippo, Ross Fissinger, and Colby Monin. But their junior, Hayden Quinter, will jump at center circle. And Tanya, getting set for the last game of the regular season here.
This is exciting. Hopefully all the fans bring it tonight. There's a lot of blue and gold, and this is set to be a good one.
State ranked number 4 Russia and number 6 Marion Local. Tipping off here. Flyers control the tip. Get first opportunity here. Driving into the paint, going to kick it out to Brandon Ike. Ike with the ball being guarded by the junior in Quinter, and the ball's knocked out by Quinter into the Raider bench, so Marion Local will keep possession. Flyers coming off a loss last night against Versailles. They're now at 7-1 in the MAC. Still in first place, 6-2 New Bremen and 6-2 Delphus behind them. Missed shot by the Flyers as Ike tries to throw it up, and Raiders with the ball. Zane Chappie going to run the point. Senior's been running the point for 4 years for Russia. Russia setting up their offense as Marion Local drops back in a man. Fissinger with the ball now gets it to Quinter. Quinter being guarded by Hess. Down to Monin on the left block. Fissinger on top. Thinks about a 3. Drives. Kicks it out to Monin. Chappie's going to take a long 3. That's off the back of the iron. No good. Ball knocked around. Flippo picks it up. He's in the paint. Has it taken away from him by Ike. Flyers with the ball quickly down the floor. And Mesher up and off the glass. Jaden Mesher, the 6'2 senior, gets the scoring started for the Flyers at the 6:52 mark. Raiders with the ball. Flippo being guarded by Hess out front in the corner. Driving baseline is nice pass down low to Monin. Good assist there from Hayden Quinter to Colby Monin as the senior gets the Raiders on the board, ties this thing up. Down low, Mesher again off the iron, no good. Ball knocked around. Monin with a rebound, gets it out to Quinter, and Shappy now with it. Back to Quinter. Quinter trying to drive in the paint, up and off the glass. Doesn't get the shot to foul, but he's going to get fouled and head to the free throw line.
You know, both teams, I think, are just going to play loose tonight and, you know, not show all their cards because they don't know what the future holds, and just have a good old, you know, pick-up game and see what happens.
So Quinter will get 2 free throws. He makes the first. That foul one on Luke Pullman. Quinter averaging a team best 13.1 per game. Had 6 points in the win last night versus Fort Laramie. And that second one is too hard. Rebound down to Pullman, who just committed the foul. Ball knocked around. Hess finally picks it up. Across the half court, being guarded by Shappy. Double teamed by Fissinger, and Shappy, he's in trouble, and he turns the ball over. We're going to get a whistle, and it looks like a foul. Maybe that one's going to go on Zane Shappy. So both teams knotted up with 1 team foul each, Pullman and Shappy.
I thought we might get a double dribble there.
Good trap by the Raiders. Shappy must have just got the wrist or something. So inbound from Mesher. Gets it over to Pullman on top. Into the corner to Mesher. He's going to take the 3. He gets that to go. So Jaden Mesher with all 5 points for the Flyers. And Tanya, I don't know if you know this, but Jaden Mesher actually was a Russia student once upon a time.
Really?
Went to elementary at Russia and moved to Marion Local. And one of those reasons was to play football, I believe. But he is strictly a basketball player right now at Marion.
He doesn't look like a running back or fullback to me, but he sure is a good basketball player at this point.
Shappy's 3 is no good. Rebound down to Pullman. Flyers up 2 points. Down low with it is Niekamp. He gets the easy bucket on the assist from Mesher. Flyers now up 4 points. Going to the rim is Shappy. Gets a couple back for the Raiders. Zane Shappy averaging 6 per game. Only had 1 free throw last night. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Niekamp trying to find him down low again. Fissinger takes it from him. Now we're going to get a jump ball, and nice job there by the senior Fissinger of tying up Niekamp.
He read that play very well. That could have been, you know, now the Raiders are down 4 again.
Substitution for the Flyers. Mitch Ranley in the ball game. Number 10 as well as number 30, Kyle Ungern. Raiders with the ball trying to tie this thing up. Quinter with it, gets a screen from Monin. Finally gets to Fissinger. Fissinger rotates it down to Flippo. Down low to Monin. He's got it underneath, throws it up and over the backboard. Crazy shot there by Monin. He was tied up by a couple Flyers. Probably should have just kicked it out there, Tanya.
Right, I think he thought he was being held. So if he threw the ball up and got a shot, maybe he was going to go to the free throw line.
Flyers get it inbound. Ungren with the ball. Gets it back to Ranley. Ranley across the timeline, picked up by Quinter. Looking down low for Hess. Hess goes around Flippo, puts a shot up. Nice move there by the senior Tate Hess. Get a whistle down in front of the Marion local bench. We're going to get a Flyer foul. That one's going to go on Tate Hess. Substitution now as Braylon Cordonier, a 6'3 sophomore, comes in the ball game for Colby Monin. Monin with a nice round of applause. His first start of his high school career. Shappy setting up the Raider offense. Cordonier with it now. Kicks it out to Fissinger. Fissinger thinks about a 3, drives against Ungren, up and off the glass.
Nice move, Ross.
Fissinger gets the bucket, and he gets a nice round of applause from the crowd as the senior.
He took what they gave him. They were overplaying, so he went to the basket, and that was a great move by Ross.
And low,
Mesher.
Yeah, down low again. Jaden Mesher with a couple buckets. He's got 7 in the quarter so far. Mesher getting some easy baskets Flippo with it for the Raiders in the corner to Cordonier. Cordonier being guarded by Hess on top to Fissinger. Rotates it to Shappy. Shappy being guarded by Pullman. Almost has it taken from him. He does by Hess. Flyers with the ball. We're halfway through this first quarter now. Hess drives. Picks up his dribble across to Pullman. Pullman's going to take a three. He nails it. So a couple threes here early for the Flyers, and we're going to get a precision strip timeout from Coach Cordonier. We'll take it with him. Marion Local leads Russia 14-7 here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
The final night of the regular season for the Russia Raiders. They are 19-2 coming into tonight for the Marion Local Flyers. They will have one more game next Tuesday, a league game against the Delphos St. John Blue Jays, and a big game for the Flyers. They are 7-1 in league play. Delphos is 6-2, so Delphos trying to get a share of that MAC title. New Bremen actually at 6-2. They'll play 4-4 Fort Recovery. They'd like to get on that MAC title as well. So coming out of the timeout, Raiders with the ball. It's 14-7 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Cordonier with the ball is going to lose it, but that's going to be knocked out by the Flyers, so Russia will inbound it underneath their own basket. Flippo with the inbounds. And during that timeout, Braden Monin came in for Fissinger after he got 2 points for the Raiders, and this is the normal starting lineup for the Raiders, what you see on the floor right now. Shappy's going to lose the ball, but picking it up will be Mon, and Quinter now with it. Cordonier all alone for a three, and that's too long. Ball knocked around. Raiders get it. Shappy trying to save it. And finally, Flippo picks it up. Quinter with it. Cordonier thinks about another three. Decides to penetrate, and he's going to get fouled by Luke Pullman. Luke Pullman going to pick up his second foul, Tanya.
What we've seen right now is a lot of dribble penetration, and every time that happens, you know, specifically on the Raiders side, there's a lot of turnovers that are happening right now. A lot of balls being hit out of bounds, such. Maybe ball movement without so much dribbling is the key. We shall see.
Braylon Cordonier gets the first free throw. Cordonier, our NKTelco player of the game last night. He had 10 points to lead the Raiders. Substitutions for Russia now as Quinter, Flippo, and Shappy all head to the bench. In will be Felix Francis, Vince Borchers, and Benjamin York. Russia able to go about 10 deep here tonight.
It's fun to see so many kids get action tonight on senior night.
Hess with the ball for the Flyers. They lead by 6 points, and he's going to step on the baseline, so a turnover by the Flyers. Substitution for the Flyers as Brandon Ike comes back into the ball game, and Tate Hess will head to the bench. Vince Borchers going to take over the point guard duties for the Raiders. Brings it up the floor, gets a screen from York. Gives it over to Cordonier. Cordonier back to Borchers. Borchers trying to find York down low. Francis with it out front. Spin dribble in the lane. He's going to put it up. A nice soft shot there by Felix Francis. Francis, who had 2 last night, gets 2 here in the first quarter. Trims that Marion Local lead to just 4 points.
That's something that Felix has developed as the season is going on. And last night we didn't see much of that.
Mesher with a shot, and Jaden Mesher having some kind of first quarter. He's got 9 of the 16 Flyer points. York with it now. Shot fake, gets it out to Cordonier. Raiders rotating it around that perimeter. Monin with it now. He gets in the paint, going to pull up, take a shot, fading away. That's off the back of the iron. Going to get a whistle and a foul down low. That's going to go on the Flyers. And, you know, when this game is traditionally or typically played, it's usually a pretty physical game, Tanya.
Yes.
We're seeing the Flyers right now picking up some early fouls. They've got 14 fouls. Russia just one.
And that was really kind of a useless one. He took two hands and pushed him in the back. The Raiders had possession there. That was kind of not a real smart foul, but.
Substitution of the Flyers as Tate Hess comes in for Jaden Mesher. Raiders with the ball. Borchers working against Pullman. And he gets stripped from behind. Austin Niekamp got that ball or not, but a turnover by the Raiders. Lobbing it down low to Niekamp and up and off the glass for the 6'8 sophomore Austin Niekamp. He now has 4. Brings the Flyer lead back to 8 points. We're under a minute to play here in the first. Cordonier with it down low, gets it out to Borchers. Flyers forgot about Borchers. Boy, they had him guarded well, Tanya, and then they just left him.
I thought that was a travel. I thought he traveled there, but apparently not.
6 different Raiders have scored so far in this first quarter. Got 36 seconds to play in the first. Pullman with it out front. He's got 2 fouls. That ball stripped away. Francis comes up with it, trying to find a teammate. Does get it to Cordonier. Nice job there by Francis, picking up that ball off the floor, not traveling it, and getting it to Cordonier. Borchers looking to Coach Spencer Cordonier for instructions. Borchers to Cordonier. Cordonier back to Borchers, and he's going to drive the hoop.
Nice move, Vince.
Yeah, Vince Borchers with back-to-back baskets for the Raiders. Gets the Marion local lead down to 4, and Raiders trap Hess. He's going to throw it up at the horn. That goes into the cheerleaders and is no good. So after 8 minutes of play, Marion local leads Arooshie 18-14 here on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here.
Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Replays of this contest will be on Thursday, March 9th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, March 12th at 5 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. I'd like to thank our additional sponsors tonight. They are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman Inc., Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and St. Henry Bank. Tanya, the Flyers lead the Raiders 18-14, and Arooshie needs to find an answer for Jaden Mesher, who has 9 of those 18 points.
Absolutely. I think towards the end of that first quarter, they started to zone in on him a little bit more and play a little bit better defense on him. Now they have Benjamin York guarding him. We talked about last night, Braden Monin and Benjamin York and Zane Shappy interchanging between a lot of times the best guard, and we're seeing that right now.
Flyers with the ball. Pullman now being guarded by Francis. Gets it over to Hess, being guarded by Borchers. Arooshie back in a man-to-man defense. Pullman with it again, trying to get it down low to Niekamp. He's being guarded by Monin, Colby Monin, who's back in the ball game. Cross-court pass to Pullman. He's going to drive baseline, puts up the floater, and Luke Pullman, the 6-foot senior, gets that to drop. He had a three-pointer back in the first quarter. He now has 5. Gets that Flyer lead back to 6 points. Raiders with the ball. Borchers down low to Mon being guarded by Niekamp. Ball turned over by the Raiders, and on the break, it's Mitch Ranley with it, and that's rejected by the Raiders. Nice block there by Ruschi. Mesher gets it in the corner to Pullman. Two Monans on the floor, Braden Monan and Colby Monan for Ruschi. Number 13, Braden Monan guarding Pullman, gets it over to Hess.
The Flyers kind of remind me of the Raiders. Sometimes this person scores, the next night another kid scores. You zero in on one, and the other one steps up and hits a three.
Tate Hess with a three-pointer. He had 2 in the first. He now has 5. Flyers up by 9. Braden Monan out front, being guarded by Jaden Mesher. Down low with it, Monan working against Niekamp. Spins on him, throws up a crazy shot, but Francis gets the rebound, knocked around. Get a tie-up. They're going to get a jump ball. Possession error will favor Ruschi. And Marion Local, will remind you, not playing tonight with their leading scorer. That's Jack Kanapke, a 6'9 sophomore. He's been averaging close to 14 points per game as Brandon Knight comes back in the ball game for Ruschi. Shappy and Flippo back in for Francis and Borchers. Also Hayden Quinter will come in for Benjamin York. I think Ruschi thought they were going to have to face the 6'8 Niekamp and the 6'9 Kanapke, and I think some fans that I talked to are actually looking forward to that, seeing how Ruschi could handle that size. Cordonier down low. He's going to get fouled by Tate Hess. And substitution, Mitch Ranley will come back in as Hess will head to the bench. Ruschi will inbound it underneath their basket. Braden Monan will do the duties. And lobs it into Cordonier.
Hess picked up his second foul on that one.
So both Hess and
move,
Pullman with 2 fouls. Braden Monan with the bucket. He gets his first. He's been averaging close to 8 points per game. Had 4 last night versus Fort Laramie in that win.
The official making sure the fans are okay. I don't know exactly which official that is, but every time we see him, he's very, he interacts with the crowd and tries to make light of things.
Yeah, you like officials that like to have fun, that's for sure. Have fun and make good calls. That's all we're asking. And Quinter with the steal for Ruschi, trying to tap it to Shappy, and as he was falling down, Ruschi not able to corral that. Get a whistle down low. What happened down there, Tanya?
In that situation there, is that Niekamp? I can't see his number. Yep. Niekamp got position right away, and Xavier Flippo was just trying to get around him, and it picked up a foul.
Tate Hess will come back into the ball game, and heading to the bench will be Brandon Ike. Mesher to inbound it underneath the Marion Local basket. Mesher with it back in the corner. Jaden Mesher leading the area in three-pointers, has 49 of them on the season. Added one more tonight for an even 50. Speaking of three-pointers, that one's on the way from Mitch Ranley. That is the 4th three that the Flyers have hit. And down low with it, Flippo. Can't get the shot to go down. Rebound by Niekamp. Flyers up 10 points. Mesher almost turned that ball over.
I don't think he established his footing on their side. I would have thought that was an over and back, but.
Pass working against Quinter. Quinter double teaming, Mon and double teaming Pullman in the corner. He loses control of it into the Ruschi bench, but knocked out by the Raiders. So Marion Local will keep it. Tate Hess will handle the inbounds while Ruschi coach Spencer Cordonier talks to one of the officials. Trying to lob it down low to Niekamp. Nice job down there by Flippo of sealing him off. Xavier Flippo, one of those guys that just got 4 years of varsity experience. He knows how to handle a little bit of everything, and he gets an easy bucket too.
Nice pass.
Xavier Flippo now with his first basket. And whistling, it looks like we're going to get a precision strip timeout by Coach Kirk Guttemiller for the Marion Local Flyers. We'll take it with him. Marion Local leads Ruschi 26-18 here on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Now we're 4 minutes and 29 seconds away from our halftime break. Flyers leading the Raiders by 8 points. Marion Local with the ball. Tate Hess getting set to inbound in front of the Russia student section. A lot of blue and gold in the gymnasium tonight. Both these schools, that is their team colors. Mesher with it, going to drive and throw it up and off the glass. Nice move by Jaden Mesher, who's having some kind of first half. He now has 11. Russia going to have to come up with an answer for the 6'2 senior Mesher. Quinter's shot is going to go out, knocked out by Niekamp. A lot of media in here tonight, Tanya. We got the Sydney Daily News underneath the Russia basket. Press Pros Magazine under Marion Local's basket. WOSN in the house. Scores broadcast. These two teams state ranked. Big battle tonight.
This is the game of the night in the area, so, it doesn't get any better than this. Everybody wants to be here. But we're here every night, Craig.
that we are. Zane Chappie picking up his 4th point. Cuts the Marion Local lead to 8. Mitch Ranley with the ball being guarded by Cordonder. Gets it to Hess in the corner to Mesher. Mesher's going to take another 3. He's got one. That one's an air ball. Going to hear that from the Russia crowd. Quinter with it, trying to get down low to York. Pass. Up and off the glass. Assist by Hayden Quinter. Bucket by Benjamin York.
Hayden Quinter sees the floor so well. Not only can he score, but he can pass, and it makes him so dangerous.
Mesher with it down low again. He's got a couple buckets down there. He's got another one. Jaden Mesher just having some kind of game so far for the Russia Raiders. They've had 10 different players score. You can't distribute the scoring any better than that as York tries to get to go. His stick back rolls off the rim as well. And as Mitch Ranley pulls down the rebound, he's going to get fouled. Russia's 3rd team foul versus 5 for the Flyers. Brandon Ike will check back in, and heading to the bench will be Mitch Ranley. For the Raiders, Vince Borchers will check in for Zane Chappie. Flyers with the length of the floor to go in 3 minutes in this first half. Tate Hess working against Borchers in the paint. Gets it over to Mesher in the corner to Ike. Back on top to Hess. Niekamp with it now. The sophomore is going to go up and over a couple Raiders. Shots no good. A rebound by Quinter. Raiders on the break. Quinter trying to drive the Euro step. He can't get the shot to go. Rebound by Niekamp. Going to go out of bounds as Quinter tried to get a steal there. Head coach Spencer Cordonder going to wave in a substitution, trying to get Xavier Flippo in, not able to. So Flippo will wait at the scores table along with Mitch Ranley getting ready to check in. Luke Pullman trying to find Niekamp down low. He does, and fans wanted to travel on that. Borchers rips it right out of Niekamp's hands. Nice defense there by the sophomore Borchers against the sophomore Niekamp. Quinter's shot can't go. Gets his own rebound. Second attempt's no good. York comes up with it, and he's going to get fouled. Flyers going to pick up team foul number 6. Nice hustle there by the Russia Raiders. Benjamin York will head to the free throw line. York had, on second thought, maybe not. Raiders, that foul was on the floor, so Russia will inbound it. But I was going to say, Benjamin York had some kind of weekend last weekend, had 16 points against Botkins, 14 the next night against Ansonia, had 6 last night in the win against Fort Laramie. Monin in the paint. Marion Local making it awful tough for the junior Braden Monin.
That was great defense.
Flyers with the ball, minute 42 to go here in the first half. Mesher with another corner three. Jaden Mesher gets his second three of the ball game, his 51st of the season. 5 3-pointers by the Flyers so far here in this first half. They now lead by 11 points. Raiders trying to figure out an answer for Jaden Mesher. Spin move in the lane by Borchers. Shot's too soft, gets his own rebound. We've seen that a lot tonight, Tanya, where Rushi will miss a shot and then get their own rebound.
Right, which seems uncharacteristic when you're playing against a team that has, 6'8", 6'5" size players. But the Raiders are hitting the offensive boards fantastically. Unfortunately, they're missing a lot of little bunny shots that, they got to get their offense back on track to try to cut into this lead. One thing on Jaden Mesher that I've noticed is they're helping off too much. In my opinion, when you're playing him, you can't let off. You've got to stay with him. You can't be the help off.
And nice play by the Raiders. Braden Monin gets the bucket down low. He now has 4. Leading the scoring for Rushi right now, Vince Borchers with 6 points. You saw him score a little earlier. And with 33 seconds to go, Flyers with the ball. Ike kicks it out to Mesher. With it now as Mitch Ranley gets it on top to Pullman. Back to Ike. Flyers perhaps wanting to take the last shot here of this first half. Stick around for our halftime report. Tanya and I will have all your numbers up and off the glasses. Ike, that's no good. Raiders with the rebound. And Cordonier gets some contact from Ranley, but no call. Borchers now with the ball, and he gets some contact from Brandon Ike, and now they're going to call this one.
That'll go to a 1-on-1 situation.
Vince Borchers heading to the free throw line. He's been the biggest scorer for the Raiders here in this first half. 2.8 seconds to go. Flyers foul number 7 as Flippo will head to the bench, and Felix Francis checks back in maybe for a rebound if Borchers would happen to miss this. 1-1 from Rushi. Borchers' first free throw is too hard. Rebound comes down to Ranley, and he throws it to assistant coach Brad Francis for the Rushi Raiders. And with 0.3 seconds on the clock, Rushi will have to try to. Can you get this shot and shoot it, or do you have to tip it, time?
This has got to be a tip. They can hope for nothing there, but you can hope for a tip, or maybe you get fouled on it. I mean, that's the scenario you got to look for.
That will do it for our first half of play. Marion Local will take a 33-26 lead into the locker room here for halftime. Tanya and I will be back in a moment with your numbers from the first half. You're listening to high school boys basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
We'd like to thank our sponsors that are bringing this game between Russia and Marion Local to you tonight, and they are Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. After one quarter of play tonight, it was Marion Local 18, Russia 13, and then in the second quarter, the Flyers outscored the Raiders 15-13 for our halftime score of 33-26. Tanya, Russia needs to come up with an answer for Jaden Mesher, who is leading all scorers with 16 points.
At the end of that second quarter, we saw the defender, which at the time was Benjamin York. You saw about 40 seconds run off the clock. And what he did in that situation was the right thing. He wasn't helping off he was not the backside help. He kept a good eye on Jaden Mesher and make sure he knew where he was all the time and didn't leave him. And they've got to try to contain him. And again, like I said, I believe the Flyers are very similar to the Raiders. Some nights it's going to be Mesher, some night it's going to be Pullman, and then you're going to have Niekamp, who is your muscle inside tonight. So we'll see if the Raiders have an answer. And on the offensive side, the Raiders they've got to start hitting connected on some shots. Outside, I don't believe there's been a three that's been hit yet. And second and third chance shots are slim. They did a really good job the first half, but are we going to get that the second half? So we shall see.
Yeah, you're correct. Russia with no three-pointers tonight. Only had one last night versus Fort Laramie, and that's something is uncharacteristic for these Raiders. Have been very good at shooting the long ball. In addition to Jaden Mesher, 16, four other Flyers have scored, and they are Tate Hess and Luke Pullman, both with 5 points each. You've got Austin Niekamp with 4 points and Mitch Ranley with 3 points. For Russia, they've had 10 different players score, and they are being led right now by Vince Borchers with 6 points. It's 4 points each for Braden Monin and Zane Chappie. 2 points all for Xavier Flippo, Felix Francis, Ross Fissinger, Colby Monin, and Benjamin York, and 1 point apiece for Hayden Quinter and Braylon Cordonier. Tanya, a little different tonight. It's senior night, a lot of emotions here, where Russia started 4 seniors. 2 of those seniors that don't typically start got their starters back in there. Maybe the second half, you kind of get all that senior night stuff out of you, but you still like to have that emotion as the night goes on to perhaps spur you to maybe a victory here tonight.
Absolutely. You don't want to end your career here with a loss, especially if, right now it's a 7-point game. You want to, if it's no more than 1-2 points, but the Raiders got to get back offensively on track, and they're very good shooters, and when you have your 2 leading scorers only with 1 point, something needs to be done. So hopefully they can start connecting this second half.
Well, Marion Local does have a 6-game winning streak in this series, and they've actually won 10 of the last 11 of these matchups between Russia and Marion Local. Last time Russia won was back in 2016. That was an overtime game, which the Raiders won 60-57. And we do want to congratulate Russia on their SCAL championship last night. They finished the season tied with an 11-1 record, tied with Jackson Center for first place in the SCAL. And that's quite an accomplishment. The last time Russia did that was 2018. For Russia coach Spencer Cordonier, he has led the Raiders to an SCAL championship in all 4 of his years. He previously coached here for the 2016, 17, and 18 seasons. That was then taken over by head coach Dave Borchers, coached the last couple seasons, and then Coach Cordonier stepping in as the interim coach this year and leads the Raiders to another championship. So a lot of success with head coach Spencer Cordonier.
There's a lot of special ones, but I think with this group, they've had to overcome a lot of adversity. And, at the last minute, having coaches change due to Coach Borcher's tragic accident. But, these kids have adapted, and the coaching staff has adapted. And to win an SCAL championship, especially against Fort Laramie in their own gym, is a pretty special moment.
So the Flyers back on the floor with Pullman, Mesher, Hess, Eink, and Niekamp. And miss in their first opportunity. Russia on the floor with Quinter, Braden Monin, Zane Shappy, Braylon Cordonier, and Xavier Flippo. Zane Shappy with the ball, gets it in the corner to Braden Monin, looking down low for Cordonier. He's working against Hess, can't get free. On top to Flippo. Quinter with it in the corner, working against Jaden Mesher. Quinter spin move on Mesher, up and over him. That's no good. Quinter with a rebound. Flippo with a three. He misses that one. Long rebound goes to Quinter. He finds Monin. Monin turn around in the lane, gets it to go. Again, another instance of Russia getting offensive rebounds.
Xavier Flippo, if he would have hit that three, that could have made a big difference because you see Niekamp helping off a lot on him when Braylon Cordonier was in the middle, was in the paint. So Xavier hits a shot, that then makes Niekamp have to stick on him a little bit more, and that would have opened up the inside game maybe a hair more for the Raiders.
And nice shot by Tate Hess up and off the glass. He has 7. And Flippo in the lane. That shot's no good. Flyers with the ball. A 7-point lead. Hess with it now. Looking for a teammate. And that ball stolen by Zane Shappy. Raiders got him 3-on-2. Cordonier going to take a three. And the ball rattles around. No good. Russia not able to connect from long range.
That student section was ready. They were waiting for that ball to go in.
2 minutes into this third quarter. Niekamp down low. Cordonier with the block. So Braylon Cordonier, the 6'3 sophomore, gets the block on the 6'8 sophomore Niekamp. Talked about the Raider defense and our keys of the game, and Cordonier comes back and gets the bucket. He had a free throw in the first half. He now has 3. Russia only allowing teams 37 points per game on the season, under 38 the last 3 games. That's not going to happen tonight. But Russia can still play good defense, and that's going to go off of Niekamp's hands. Perhaps Russia dialing up the defense now, Tanya.
They sure have here. The intensity level's picked up a little bit. You see some blocks. That makes the crowd scream and have fun, and when the crowd gets behind them, it energizes the players. So hopefully the Raiders student section can get going.
Shappy with it, and Cordonier just trying to get open. Russia got a matchup down low with Cordonier and Hess. Quinter shot, jumper no good. Hess with a rebound. He's in transition, working against Cordonier. Kicks it out to Pullman. Back to Hess. Niekamp down low, working against Flippo. That's 6'8 on 6 foot. Niekamp's turnaround off the glass, no good. Rebound, though, is going to be thrown out of bounds by Brandon Eink. So nice rebound by Eink. He tried to outlet that quickly. And did that go for Raider hand?
It did.
Substitution now as Mitch Ranley will come into the ball game. Heading to the bench will be Brandon Eink, and Vince Borchers will go in for Zane Shappy, as will Benjamin York in for Hayden Quinter.
The communication on defense down there by the Raiders was really well. Braden Monin was helping off of Mesher, but he was talking to Hayden Quinter that he needed to help him out because he was trying to help out with Niekamp. So the communication is there. They just got to, so far have stopped Mesher from scoring, so that's what they have to continue doing.
Ranley with the ball, being guarded by York. York with those long arms. Ranley gets around York, throws up a shot. That's a crazy shot. Cordonier rips the ball away from Niekamp. We're going to get a foul on Austin Niekamp. That will be his 3rd foul, I believe.
He just strong-armed him there. Braylon Cordonier just took control of that ball, and he wasn't getting – that might be lifting weights at 6 in the morning a couple days a week. Do that.
So Niekamp does pick up his 3rd foul. Coach Kurt Guttemiller will substitute in Kyle Ungren, the 6'3 sophomore. He had a little bit of playing time in the first half. Raiders trail by just 5 points. York with the ball, gets it over to Flippo. Borchers now with it. On top to Monin. York to Cordonier. Cordonier lobbing it down low to Flippo. Flippo can work over Ungren. Had a tougher time with Niekamp. Raiders can't get the shot to go, but more offensive rebounds. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Raiders going to keep it.
The ball movement in that possession was really good. Unfortunately they missed a shot, but they were moving the ball very, very well.
Russia moving the ball well, communicating well. Just need a few more points. As Brandon Ike will check back to the ball game, Luke Pullman will head to the bench. Flippo down to Cordonier on the left block. Cordonier in the paint, working up against Hess, and he gets it to go down. Braylon Cordonier using his muscle down low. He now has 4 points in this third quarter, 5 for the game. Russia within 3. Pass out to Ike. Ike trying to dribble against Cordonier, and almost stolen by Borchers. It's knocked out. Picking it up is Ungren. Back to Ike, on top to Hess. Marion Local just 2 points in this third quarter so far. Russia was 6. Jaden Mesher so far held scoreless as Hess is going to be unguarded on his way to the basket. Tate Hess with all 4 Marion Local points here in the third. And a steal by the Flyers, and a couple big steps by Mitch Ranley. Gets the bucket to go. Ranley now with 5. York spinning on Ranley, and another turnover by the Raiders. Hess off the glass is going to get the shot to go down. He'll get the bucket and the foul. So all of a sudden, Marion Local with a run of their own. Tate Hess, Russia figured out how to stop Mesher, but now not able to stop Hess as he's got 6 in the quarter. And looks like Coach Cordonier wants a precision strip timeout. We'll take it with him. Marion Local leads Russia 41-32 here on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Tanya and I are sitting right above the Russia bench. We've got an eagle's eye view of Coach Cordonier down there talking to his players. Tanya, can you pick up what he's saying at all?
I think he's telling them at this point that we need to settle down and cut the turnovers down. Their intensity level, it's becoming a track meet the last couple possessions. Slow down just a hair because they do want to push the ball, but we got to eliminate our turnovers, eliminate so much dribbling. Because the one possession we talked about, there was so much, the ball movement was excellent. Now we've gotten away from it. But again, it's becoming a track meet, and we got to slow that down a hair.
Marion Local with the last 6 consecutive points, trying to make it 7 as Tate Hess was fouled.
I believe this is their first free throws of the game.
So Tate Hess at the line. He is a 77% free throw shooter. He leads this team in free throw percentage. He gets that one to go off the rim, but Flyers with the rebound. Shot no good. Mesher's going to take a 3. That one's short. Mesher gets his own rebound. Floater in the lane. You give Jade Mesher too many opportunities, he's going to make you pay. He now has 18. For Russia, Ross Fissinger back into the ballgame. He came in during that timeout, the 5'11 senior. And another Raider turnover. Almost fouled. No whistle. Mesher going to fake the 3, give it over to Hess in the corner. 3 on the way. Another Flyer 3, this time from Mitch Ranley. And all of a sudden, Marion Local is just red hot. That is the 6th Flyer 3. Borchers with the ball, gets tied up, gets it out to Quinter. Under 2 minutes of play here in the third quarter. Marion Local now all of a sudden on top by 14 points. Quinter gets fouled on his way to the basket. He'll get 2 shots. Coach Guttermiller out on the floor yelling instructions to his team. Quinter just 1 free throw so far tonight. Rushie's leading scorer at 13.1 per game. And substitutions for the Raiders as Felix Francis will replace Braylon Cordonier and Zane Shappy replacing Vince Borchers. Quinter with 1 more opportunity. Gets that to go as well. Hayden Quinter, 3 points, all from the charity stripe. Rushi now trailing by 12 points. Mesher is stealed. Fissinger knocks it out of the way. York to the basket. He gets the layup. So nice defense by Fissinger, and then the layup by Benjamin York. And down low, it's Ungren going to get fouled by Felix Francis. Otherwise, he was going to get an easy
Absolutely.
basket. So not in the act of shooting. Marion Local will inbound it underneath their basket. They lead by 10. And lob down low to Pullman. Pullman's going to put up a fadeaway. That's no good. Ball knocked around. Quinter grabs the rebound, looking for a teammate. He's going to dribble in traffic, and he's going to get fouled. So dribbling kind of wildly there, almost uncontrolled, out of control, I would say.
Wasn't sure where he was going at that point. But we kind of saw that same thing last night.
Kyle Ungren picking up his first foul. 3 team fouls for the Flyers versus 2 for Rushi. Shappy inbounds it, lobs it into Francis, gives it to Quinter. Quinter gets it over to Shappy. Shappy's going to take an 18-footer.
Nice
he gets
job.
it to go. Zane Shappy with the basket. He now has 6. Raiders trim that lead back down to 8 points. Hess with it, working against Shappy. Trying to get around Shappy. Zane Shappy, a very good defender. Gives it over to Mesher. Mesher being guarded by York, and those long arms from the sophomore. Getting a screen from Ungren. Mesher doesn't use it, trying to dribble against York. Kicks it out to Hess. Under a minute to play here in the first. Pullman gets tied up down low. He's going to travel. Nice defense there by Felix Francis, getting the senior Pullman to travel. 52.1 to go. Cordonier's going to check in for York. And for the Flyers, Brandon Ike will check in for Mitch Ranley. Rushi with the length of the floor to go. Francis on the inbound to Shappy. Flyers with an 8-point lead. Francis over to Quinter, back to Francis. On top to Fissinger. Shappy now with it, finding Cordonier down low, working against Hess. Cordonier going to try to muscle it up. Hess knocks it out and then knocks it out of bounds. Tate Hess waiting for Cordonier to spin there.
Right.
And when he did, he was able to get his hand on the ball and then tapped it out of bounds.
He had him on the high side. A lot of times they want to go to the middle instead of taking the baseline because sometimes you get out of balance, but not knowing where you're at. But in that situation, he should have went to the baseline.
Cordonier gets Hess in the air, drives to the basket. Tough shot, fadeaway. Nice bucket by Braylon Cordonier. He now has 7 to lead the Raiders in scoring. Led him last night with 10, and with 13 seconds to go, Flyers with the ball, up 6. Hess gets around Shappy, goes up and off the glass, no good. Rebound by Fissinger, gets it out to Quinter with 4 seconds. He hustles down the floor, 2, gets a good shot at the horn. That's no good, front of the rim. So we'll head to the final quarter of play. Marion Local 46, Rushi 40. We'll be back in a moment here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio means jobs. Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
I'd like to remind our viewers that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Replays of this contest will be Thursday, March 9th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, March 12th at 5 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Tanya, Rushie's their best quarter, I guess, as far as the quarter scoring goes. They had 13 in both the first and second quarters, 14 in that third quarter, and they had Marion down early there, but Marion with a nice run to keep the lead.
The Raiders are fortunate to cut it to 6. Marion was on a nice little run there, and the Raiders got some turnovers, got some rebounds, and did some muscle.
So Rushie with the ball to start out this fourth quarter on the floor with Quinter, Shappy, Cordonier, Francis, and Braden Monin. Cordonier with the ball on the elbow, working against Hess. Hess waiting for Cordonier to spin there. Braden Monin with the ball now. He gets in the paint, gets it back out to Cordonier to Shappy. Shappy going to penetrate the lane. Nice dish down low to Francis.
Pass. Nice finish.
So Zane Shappy gets the assist to Felix Francis. He has 4. Flyers with the ball up 4. Turn into another good one here, Tanya. We had a good one last night with the Fort Laramie game. Going to end this season on a high note, it looks like.
Again, this game means nothing to either of these teams. Just a hard-fought battle and getting things ironed out before they go into tournament play.
And a floater down low from Pullman. That's no good. Rebound by Quinter. Yeah, Rushie starts their tournament trail on Thursday, taking on Mississinawa Valley. Shappy with a 3. That's off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound by Francis, trying to throw it off a flyer out of bounds. Tie up on the floor, and there'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Flyers.
He must have thought he was going out of bounds because he was about 5 feet from out of bounds. And
yeah, I think Francis was just hoping it would ricochet off the Flyers and go out of bounds. And it was like a dart. He threw it at him, and it stayed right where he threw it.
Yeah, it did.
Flyers with the ball. Hess bringing it up court across the timeline, being guarded by Zane Shappy. Zane Shappy, a 4-year starter for Rushie. Pullman's going to get whistled for this travel, try to get around Braylon Cordonier. Substitution, Benjamin York heads in, and Braden Monin limps back to the bench. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like maybe something going on with his ankle there. Trainer going to talk to him a little bit. He's going to head to the locker room. Raiders with the ball. York gets a screen from Quinter, kicks it out to Shappy in the corner to Cordonier, trying to get down low to
nice defense
Quinter.
By Mesher. He saved 2 points there because Xavier had just a nice little lane to the basket.
Francis on the right elbow, being guarded by Niekamp. Down low to Quinter, and he gets the layup. So nice job by Rushie, cutting the Flyer lead to 2. Hayden Quinter now gets his first field goal of the game. He had 3 free throws before that, and that gets the Raider fans on their feet. And almost a steal. Braylon Cordonier knocked it out of the hands of Pullman, and Pullman, I think, touched it and it went out of bounds.
Absolutely, it did. There's that intensity we've been looking for and talking about, and that's the spark. Maybe the Raiders need to contain the Flyers right now and make a little run of their own. We've seen the Flyers do it. Now the Raiders need to do it as well.
Stolen by Hess from Quinter. Hess working against Cordonier, up and off the glass, no good. Ball knocked around. Shappy comes out with it, got him 2-on-1. York now with it, can't handle it. Kicks it out to Shappy off his hands and into the bench. Rushie just like a hot potato there.
It is.
Braden Monin out of the locker room, back on the bench, and now he's back in the game, so he must be okay. Got another good one here, folks. Don't go anywhere. Flyers with a 2-point lead. Russia was down to Fort Laramie at one point last night, too, in the fourth quarter. Ended up with a victory against the Redskins 39-37. We're going to get a precision strip timeout. It's going to be just a 30-second timeout. Let's talk about that tournament trail a little bit. Russia, again, starting on Thursday, the Southwest Sectional at Pickle's Garbury Gymnasium. Number 2 seed Raiders will take on number 11 seed Mississinawa Valley. And Tanya, you said the game time was changed on that one.
Yes, the game time since the Lady Raiders won today and defeated Triad, the boys at Piqua High School will begin at 5:30 p.m. This coming Thursday versus Mississinawa Valley. Make sure you buy your tickets online through the OHSAA. The girls' tournament time is also moved. They are now going to be playing at 7:30. So they will then play at 7:30 on Thursday night in Sydney. So get your tickets all at one time. Go to Piqua, then just drive up 75 a little bit up to Sydney and watch the Lady Raiders play.
Marion Local, of course, they got that MAC game on Tuesday, but their tournament trail starts, they start with a bye. They got the number 1 seed in the Northwest Sectional at St. Mary's. They will play the winner of Ada Ridgemont, and that second round game will be on Friday, February 24th.
That's a long break. Is that 10 days?
Yeah, that is a long break. And Niekamp gets the shot coming out of the precision strip timeout. He gets a bucket, gets the Flyer lead back to 4. For Niekamp, he hadn't scored since the first quarter when he had a couple field goals for 4 points. He now has 6. Flyers get their first points of this fourth quarter, and we're at the 4:55 mark. Cordonier working against Hess, double team. He's going to get whistled for the travel. Marion Local likes that matchup with Tate Hess on Braylon Cordonier. Cordonier just keeps working at it.
Right, and you see Niekamp guarding Felix Francis right now. In that situation, he doubled down. Then he slid back up again. So Braylon felt like he needed to make a move at that time and unfortunately shuffled his feet.
Pullman with the ball for the Flyers. It's over to Hess. Niekamp now with it, being guarded by Francis. Niekamp at 6'8", Francis at 6'5". Hess trying to dribble around Borchers, and in the lane with it for the Flyers is Brandon Ike. He'll get fouled. Ike's still yet to score in this ball game. He was a starter tonight, but he's going to get a first chance here at the free throw line. 4 seniors for the Marion Local Flyers. Brandon Ike, one of them, along with Tate Hess, Jaden Mesher, and Luke Pullman. Ike's first shot rolls around the rim, pops out. Substitution as Mitch Ranley comes in for the Flyers and Hayden Quinter for the Raiders. Ike trying to cash in on his second chance. Both teams with 3 team fouls. Can't get the second one to go either. And Niekamp gets tied up with Francis. Going to get a jump ball. This will go to Russia.
They have not connected on a free throw yet. I think they are 0 for 3 at this point.
Russia with the ball. Trailing by 4 points as we get close to the halfway mark of this fourth quarter. France with it down low, loses the ball, tries to pick it back up. Loose ball on the ground, blue and gold everywhere, and Coach Cordonier somehow gets a timeout. I don't know that Russia ever had possession of that ball.
Ooh. That was a tough one.
Coach Guttemler doesn't like it. He makes his opinion known to the officials, and we'll get a 30-second timeout. Do want to thank our additional sponsors tonight: Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman Inc., Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and St. Henry Bank. If you heard our pregame keys in the game, they were sponsored by Keyhole Pizza. Our starting lineups came to you from Emerson Copeland. The scoreboard tonight sponsored by First National Bank. Timeouts again by Precision Strip. Your Rougi Live View sponsor you see there on your screen is Jewelry Barn, and you want to stick around for our post-game report because Tanya will have our player of the game sponsored by NKTelco. Raiders set to inbound it underneath their own basket. Hayden Quinter will do the duty there on the baseline. Gets it into York. York on top to Braden Monin. On and back to York. York gets in the paint, finds
Nice
Francis
pass.
down low. A nice assist by the sophomore to Francis. He's got a couple of those buckets Francis has on nice assists from teammates. Francis now with 6 points. He didn't have had 2 last night. Averaging a little under 5 per game. The Raiders, more importantly, trailing by just 2. Mesher all alone in the corner. He gets that to go down. You can't let Jaden Mesher open. That's his 3rd 3.
They did a pretty good job of containing him this whole second half. I think he got 1 loose basket early in the 3rd quarter. You can't lose track of where he's at.
He's got 21 points, folks. Said leading the area in 3-pointers. He's got 52 on the season. Quinter down low. He's going to get fouled by a Flyer. We'll see who this is going to go on.
It's a nice pick and roll there. Felix Francis did a good job of rolling to the basket. I'm not sure Hayden Quinter could see him. Maybe his defender was in front of him, but he did a great job rolling there.
That foul's going to go on Jaden Mesher, I believe. Now that will be his 2nd foul. Team fouls right now for the Flyers, 4 for Russia, 3. 3:07 left to play here in the 4th. York with it in the corner. Gets in the paint, working against Mesher. Trying to lob it down low to Quinter. Gets to him. He's far underneath the bucket. Francis picks it up. He tries to turn around on Niekamp. That's no good. Ball knocked around. Hess will pick it up. He'll get fouled by Quinter. For Hayden Quinter, that will be his 1st foul. Well, just when the Raiders get close, the Flyers make a little run of their own.
They've been doing a nice job of not letting the Raiders catch up to them and then just take him back off again. That foul might not be a bad one. The Raiders only have 4, and they may need it to start fouling in a situation in about 2 minutes, so we shall see.
Yeah, we saw that last night against Fort Laramie. Raiders had fouls to give. And contact on Mitch Ranley, no whistle. And now contact. Ranley returns the favor to Hayden Quinter. Well, he thought if you can bang on me, I'm going to bang on you.
Right.
He got called for that one.
There's an awful lot going on underneath these baskets, and that there was a foul, without a doubt. But there's, you see some of this stuff and you wonder what's going on there that's not being called. But
well, there's all kinds of
it's a tough job.
Yeah, it is. There's lots of contact. When do you call it? When do you don't call it? So 2.5 minutes to go here in regulation. Raiders with the ball. Shappy gets it out to Braden Monin. Over to Braylon Cordonier. Cordonier's going to let Shappy set it back up at center circle. Raiders 19-2 on the season. State ranked number 4. Flyers sitting at 16-4, and nothing called there. Coach Cordonier throws his hands in the air. Fans didn't like it either. Going to get a whistle and a timeout for Coach Kurt Guttemiller. Going to be a 30-second timeout by the Marion local Flyers. And again, Russia state-ranked number 4 coming in tonight with a record of 19-2. The Flyers 16-4. They're state-ranked number 6. And if you're wondering who the Flyers' losses are to this season, started out with a couple Division II opponents. They lost to St. Mary's and Springfield Shawnee. Next, they fell to Jackson Center from the Shelby County Athletic League. And then last night versus Division III Versailles. Very good Marion local team, but if you're thinking about the postseason, not a team Russia would see unless both teams would happen to get to the state tournament.
Correct.
Play up in that Northwest district.
So quick question. The regional would be match up to where does that extra team come from?
They come from the Northwest, and I may be wrong on that, Tanya. Maybe Marion local does come down. They're usually one of those districts comes down.
Sometimes they go up, sometimes they come down, but for some reason I'm thinking they're coming up.
And off the glass, Luke Pullman with a strong shot. He's got 7, increases the lead for the Flyers to 7 points. Russia going to have to get something going as we close in on a minute and a half in this ball game. Monin's going to let a 3 go. That's off the rim. Long rebound. Niekamp throws it off York, out of bounds. Exactly a minute 30 to play. Substitutions now as Borchers will come into the game, as well as Francis, Flippo, and Shappy head to the bench. Russia with 14 fouls. They do have fouls to give. And Hess with it, trying to get it to Mesher. That's going to go off the Raider hands and into the Russia fans. Does Russia foul here, Tanya?
Yes. Or no? I would. I mean, they're at 4 right now.
Hess trying to stay away from Vince Borchers. Borchers chasing him around the floor. Now they're yelling for a 5 count.
And they're right. He wasn't make an attempt to go to the basket. So in my opinion, that's a 5-second call. You know.
And Brandon Ike trapped by about 3 Raiders there. He's going to call a timeout.
Or you're going to try to get a steal because you got fouls to give.
Well, we'll talk about that during the timeout here. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. Russia trailing Marion Local 53-46 here on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
It's senior night here in the Claire C. Naveau Gymnasium, and it is the last game of the regular season for the Russia Raiders. They trail the Marion Local Flyers 53-46. Flyers with the ball. Tanya and I talking about whether the Raiders should foul here. They have just 14 fouls. Tanya thinks they should. And coming out of that timeout, an easy bucket. Niekamp gets it into Hess.
That's not what you wanted to see.
Raiders with the ball. Vince Borchers working on the baseline. Stopped by Niekamp, trying to get it out top. Hess with a steal, heading to the basket, and he's going to get the lay-in for the bucket. Hess with back-to-back baskets. Tate Hess now with 15 points, and we're going to get a timeout from Coach Spencer Cordonier. Flyers up 11 points. Half a minute to play, Tanya, and looks like the Russia Raiders might get their 3rd loss of the season.
Well, you know, you have to try to figure out what you're going to do going forward. And offensively, it's been a struggle the last couple games, and I don't know where you're going to find it. You know, sometimes you go on a drought, and that happens, but they've got to find a way to offensively start connecting again, because the 3-point shots are not connecting right now. They're having to go 2 and 3 shots underneath the basket. And that's where they're the most dangerous, is offensively, and that's just not happening lately. Defensively last night, they contained a good Fort Loramie team down to 37 points. But tonight, Marion Local is just taking advantage of it. You know, and they could easily potentially hit 60 points tonight.
Yeah, Russia averaging just allowing teams just 37 points per game on defense. And as we said a little earlier, in the last 3 games, haven't allowed a team more than 38 points. Tonight, giving up 57 to the Flyers. Final instructions from Coach Spencer Cordonier as the Flyers are on the floor. 39.6 seconds to go in this ball game. Russia trailing by 11 points. And one thing Russia hasn't done all night is hit a 3-pointer. Had just one last night versus Fort Loramie. Be a good time for several threes. Shappy going to walk it across the half court, give it to Colby Monin. Fissinger now with it. Russia with their 4 seniors in the ball game. And a fitting way to close this one, Tanya.
Absolutely.
All four seniors playing for the last time in the Claire C. Naveau Gymnasium. Shappy down low with it, blocked by Niekamp. A whistle and a foul on one of the Raiders. It's going to go on Shappy. Coach Cardonier tells the Raiders to back off the pressure and just let the Flyers come down the floor. So going to give the Raiders a round of applause as Zeb Schultze will check in for senior Zane Shappy. Flyer fans standing up as well as Raider fans. Coach Cardonier giving Zane Shappy a hug, his 4-year starter for the Raiders. Also coming out will be Xavier Flippo, a 4-year starter. Ross Fissinger exiting. Coach Cardonier will hug him as well. And one more senior to go, and that is Colby Monin. Comes off the floor. A 5 and a hug from the coach. And Raider fans all on their feet. Again, Marion local fans extending the applause as well. All four of those seniors go down the line hugging teammates and coaches. Final seconds going to tick off the clock here at Claire C. Naveau, and Marion Local will pick up the 57-46 victory. Tanya, as you said, the game doesn't mean a whole lot, but it does mean a lot to these seniors who playing on this floor for the last time.
It does, and it means a lot to the fans. You know, you get emotional watching these kids because you know this is the last time, and we're proud of them, and we thank them so much for all their leadership, their hard work, and they're going to do great things in life, and we hope that they continue to come back and watch ball games because it's a lot of fun in Claire C. We're going to have one more season in here, so hopefully these kids come back and can appreciate being an alumni and watching their fellow teammates in the future.
Then we look at our final stats. After one quarter of play, it was Marion Local 18, Aroostook 13. Flyers outscored the Raiders in the second quarter 15-13 for a halftime score of Marion Local 33, Aroostook 26. The third quarter was won by Aroostook. They outscored the Flyers 14-13. In the final frame, it was Marion Local 11, Aroostook 6. Again, our final score 57-46. Leading all scoring tonight for the Marion Local Flyers, it was Jaden Mesher with 21 points. Next was Tate Hess with 15 points, 10 of those coming in the second half. Mitch Ranley had 8 points, Luke Pullman 7, and finally Austin Niekamp with 6. For the Aroostook Raiders, they had 10 different players score. Nobody in double figures, but leading the way was Braylon Cordonier with 7 points. 4 different Raiders had 6 points with Braden Monin, Zane Shappy, Felix Francis, and Vince Borchers. It was 4 points for Benjamin York, and finally 2 points each for Colby Monin, Xavier Flippo, and finally Ross Fissinger. All right, well, Marion Local will improve to 17-4 overall. They have one more game to wrap up their regular season. That is next Tuesday, hosting Delphi St. John. For Aroostook, they will finish the regular season at 19-3 overall. Raiders now focus their attention on the postseason, and their tournament trail starts next Thursday at 5:30 over at Pickers Gerbery Gymnasium as number 2 seed Aroostook will take on number 11 seed Mississinawa Valley. Tonight is also the final broadcast of the season for myself and Tanya. I got to say, Tanya, it's been a lot of fun calling these games with you and following these boys and girls basketball teams.
Right, and I hope you continue doing this because I'm looking forward to doing some more games, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you, and congratulations to you on Ross and his senior year.
Well, thank you. That's going to do it for us tonight. For a final time, Marion Local defeats Aroostook 57-46. Hope you enjoyed NKTelco's broadcast of high school boys basketball. Thanks for tuning in. And from Aroostook Local Schools, I'm Craig Fissinger. For my broadcast partner, Tanya Hammond, saying so long, everyone.